Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, I will talk about BTC on a macro level. We'll take a look at BTC based on Elliot wave analysis and what type of a price action we could anticipate going into 2023 and all that good stuff, right? So previously, actually last year, right, before the end of 2021, we talked about BTC and Ethereum based on Elliot wave analysis. So it is already nearly end of 2022. So we will talk about BTC in terms of Elliot wave analysis on the macro level. So we're not talking about like a 15-second charts, 10-second charts and all that good stuff, but we're talking about like, monthly time frame, quarterly time frame, and yearly time frame and all that good stuff, right? So now let's go ahead and dive into the analysis, right? So first thing first, right, when we take a look at BTC from the bottom, right, back in 2018, we had our bottom right around like a low 3K right there, right? So that was our initial bottom, okay? Right there. Let's do this. Okay, so that was our initial bottom, and we created our first wave to the upside all the way up to 13.5, and basically got our second wave down to retest the bottom again, just about like a 4K, and got our massive pump to the upside up to 69K, and a retest of the 30K before finally getting our wave number 5 to the upside all the way up to a 69K, right? So that completed our 5-wave structure, and we know in Elliot wave, whenever you get a 5-wave structure, right, you're going to get some sort of a pullbacks, right? So before we talk about the pullbacks, these waves, right, that was wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, before we get it confused with the the next 5-wave to the downside. Okay, so whenever we get a 5-wave structure, the next thing we tend to expect is like, we're going to get some sort of correction. Okay, so sometimes people can pull out anything and say like, oh, BTC going to drop 95%, BTC going to drop 98% and all that good stuff, but you just don't know what type of correction you're going to get. That's something that you just have to remember. You cannot basically predict, okay, the next correction phase you're going to get. The only thing is like market will cool off, market will correct however it wants to do it. Okay, so once we get enough data, we can start to basically speculate about the type of correction we get. Okay, for instance, right now, if you take a look at BTC, it is correcting in a 5-way structure, but the difference is like the move to the downside right here is completely different, right, with the move to the upside. And you can see the difference. What is the difference, Leroy? The differences are, the move from like a 3K up to 13K was very impulsive. You can see like the move from 4K up to up to 60K was very impulsive. The move from like a 30K to 69K was very impulsive. So take a look at these moves we're getting right now. They're very choppy. Okay, the entire 5-way structure is actually very, very choppy. So it makes it like, it makes it a very corrective wave. Okay, so we cannot say like, hey, this is a new trend. Okay, it is a corrective wave. Yes, it is a trend, but it is not a 5-wave structure impulsive. It is a 5-wave structure corrective. That's why I'm using like WXY XZ correction and all that good stuff. Okay, so now if we take a look at it now, we already know we got a 5-way structure, and we know we're getting a correction to the downside. Okay, so the next thing we could be paying attention to, it is going to be our Fibonacci and all that good stuff, right? So if you recall like back in February and all that good stuff, we talked about like BTC retesting the 236 right here, and possibly going to retest the 382. Next one was going to be the 50% pullback, and now we're approaching towards the 0.618 and all that good stuff. So it means like our next temporary support, we're not sure if it is going to be the macro bottom, but our next temporary support going to be at 0.618. all right, in terms of Fibonacci. Okay, if we do a swing low to swing high and all that good stuff, okay, depending on where you want to do it at, I don't want to make the video complicated, but we will just use the wave this wave right here, right, from the bottom to the top. If you do a swing low to swing high, 50% to 0.618, it is right around like a 16.2 down to like a 11.7, give or take. Okay, so that's going to be the box we're going to be paying attention to in Q1 2023 to try to figure out if BTC going to be bottoming right here just by like a 50% to a 0.618 before basically giving us another reversal to the upside, right? So the next thing we're going to be talking about, it is going to be our moving averages, right? So the first one on the macro level, right, it is our monthly 100 SMA. Okay, right here. All right, that's our monthly 100 SMA, and the next one going to be our monthly 100 EMA. Okay, so the monthly 100 SMA, we've been talking about it like for a long time right now. Okay, so we've been saying like, hey, if we break out below our 17.5K area, there is no need to be paying attention to our 100 EMA on a monthly basis. The best thing to do, right, is like to pay attention to our monthly 100 SMA, and it is close to the 0.618 Fibonacci, right? Just like the monthly 100 EMA, it is right around the 50% pullback. So covering basically the 50% pullback down to a 0.618 pullback, going to basically coincide with covering the monthly 100 EMA and monthly 100 SMA. The monthly 100 SMA right now, it is at just about like a 12.5, 12.8 range. The 0.618, it is roughly around like 11.7. Okay, so most likely, okay, within the next like a few months, if BTC breaks out to the downside, bulls going to get like some strong support at 0.618 up to the monthly 100 SMA and all that good stuff, right? So the next topic going to be in terms of indicators, right? So one thing I forgot to mention is like whenever you get a five-way structure, you're going to get some sort of divergences, right? Just like that. You're going to get a strong divergence, right, between your price action and your indicator. For instance, if you take a look at it right here at the top, we got a strong monthly divergence. Price action was double tapping, and you can see like your indicator was giving you your second crossover, and we talk about it at the top, right? Right after we basically, that's a weekly basis, right after we cross negative right here, we said, okay guys, we got a negative divergence both on our RSI and MACD. So that was a strong indication of a possible top formation and all that good stuff. That's why when BTC broke out below the 3D 21 EMA, we did not try to basically stay bullish. We said, okay, the probability of BTC starting a new downtrend going to be very high. We don't know if it is going to be a bear market or not, but we don't care. We're just going to follow the trend until we get a confirmation below the 30K, and we could be saying like, hey, it is a macro downtrend and all that good stuff. Okay, so the same thing apply also to the downside. Okay, what does it mean? It means like whenever we get a five-way structure to the downside, regardless if it is 1 2 3 5 or 1 2 3 4 5 or WXYXZ correction, you're going to get some sort of divergences, right, between your indicators and your price action, meaning like your price action could be making lower lows, right, and your indicator is going to be making what, higher lows, just like what we're getting right now. So you take a look at it right here, price action is making low lows, right? Our previous low just about like a 17.5, our recent low just about like a 15.5. So technically, right, it is a very strong divergence, right? Just like that, right? So you can see that we're getting the same exact divergence, right, we had at the top, basically inversely, right? This one right here, that's what we're getting right there. So what does it mean? It means like, even though, okay, we're saying like price action can retest like 0.618, it is not guaranteed, right? It will, because we already got a very strong divergence. We just don't know how big the divergence is going to be, because it could end up being a wedge pattern. Sometimes these moves, right, your fifth wave, most of the time, not most of the time, but a lot of time you see like an ending diagonal on your fifth wave, right? So it could be a possible ending diagonal just like that, where BTC is going to be bottoming or retesting the 0.618 in a form of ending diagonal, right? An ending diagonal, and basically still creates a nice divergence between price action and the indicators and all that good stuff, right? So something to keep in mind. So the similarity between the top formation and the bottom formation are basically these divergences, right? We got a top formation divergence between RSI and price action, top formation divergence between price action and the indicator right here, right there, your RSI, right? MACD right there, excuse me, MACD RSI for Leroy. Now we could be getting possibly another divergence, right, to the upside right there. High lows, lower lows. Okay, the problem is we just don't know, right, as of now, when price action will be done correct, and that's the only question. But as of now, we know we got a divergence. Okay, we just have to wait either for BTC to start like reversing, right, to the upside, giving us a strong push back up and all that good stuff, or just retest the lows, and we're going to be like, okay, it could be a wedge pattern, and we could be basically reversing to the upside and be looking for 50% to 0.618 on the next push back up and all that good stuff. Okay, or even the monthly 2-on-1 EMA, but that's going to be a different topic and all that good stuff. Okay, so that's all I wanted to cover. I'm just going to recap it, right? First thing first, right, we got a 5-way structure to the upside, started like since 2018. At the bottom we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double divergences, right? With your MACD and RSI, right? Price action retested the low, broke below 30K, confirmed the bear market and all that good stuff. Now we're creating another 5-way structure in terms of WXYXZ correction, and at the same time we're getting a nice bullish divergence on our indicators. All right, RSI is giving us a nice bullish divergence, MACD is giving us a nice bullish divergence, right? Price action, it is still making lower lows, so we just have to wait for confirmation for a possible retest of the monthly 100 SMA or down to the 0.618. We just don't know, depending on volatility. It could be anywhere between 10 to 12K and all that good stuff, and we will see if BTC will try to regain control of the weekly 2-on-1 EMA, monthly 2-on-1 EMA and all that good stuff after that, right? But as of now, best thing to do is just to keep an eye on this box, right? 16K to 12K area. The bottom on the macro level, I'm not talking about like the 15-second chart, the 10-second chart and all that good stuff. The bottom, for the macro level could be anywhere in this range. It is not even guaranteed it will, but we're just going to follow basically these indicators to see if our MACD will finally get above the histogram right here, where we're going to get a very impulsive move after that, right? So thanks a lot for watching. That's all I wanted to cover. If you're new to our content, don't forget to join our public Telegram group, link in the description. You can also join the Discord premium or public group, link in the description and all that good stuff. All right guys, thanks a lot for watching.